Hey guys, found another video today from Laneri 22. Debt is killing us. How to pay off the debt. The story behind it is that I guess I had to read through a lot of the posts to kind of get the information. So kind of looking for good news is that there are actually a lot of posts from different people, including the original poster, Laneri, 22. And what I found out on the post is that I guess the husband is working. Sounds like he's bringing home after the deductions about 5,000 a month. I guess she's a stay at home mom or wife who I guess is cleaning houses occasionally for the extra cash. Um, it sounds like they have about a little bit of credit card debt where they're paying about 440 a month and about $160 per month from the divorce that I guess he's kind of obligated to, and I don't know the details of the legality and what can be done, can't be done on this expenditure, but it sounds like it's gonna be like that for a couple of years. Like I think it was like 10 plus years from the previous marriage, obviously, and it sounds like he actually financed the bike. Didn't really find the post about what the actual payment is, but what the insurance included, not gas, but what the insurance included, I think it was about $300 per month, which he has about 5 years left. There's also a car loan for about 4 years left on it. She also mentions about a SUV that is about 290 a month. I'm not sure if it's the same car or a different vehicle. And it sounds like there might be an option to get a loan for like 10 years or 30 years. Maybe they're talking about the mortgage, maybe getting a second mortgage. But she doesn't want to go that direction. But would like to ideally pay off all the debt in about 5 years. I'm guessing this because that's the timeline for the bike, and also would like to lower the expenses by at least about $100 per month. There's been a lot of posts about possibly selling the bike, about getting rid of it. There's also even been a post from Laneri 22 basically saying that when she looked up the value, it looks like she has about $3,000 worth of equity in the bike, about $2,000 in the car, and that sort of things. It's just that but one other thing about the bike is that I guess this is like a freedom purchase, aka that is now that I'm going through the divorce, and coming out of it, let me kind of treat myself to do this, and it seemed like a fairly large amount of people were kind of I don't want to say condemning, but I think the proper word is that criticizing maybe on that purchase, and that that he needs to sell it and get rid of it to be in a better financial position, which I agree wholeheartedly. Like I think right now it's not the time, and to be honest, like it may seem like it's something that you have to have right now, and it's like the deal of the lifetime, and this is the best bike or a car or a house that you're ever gonna get. I have to have it, that sort of things. But oftentimes that's actually not true. Like if you and I don't know anything about bikes because I don't know how to ride the bike, but I know for cars, there's been so much changes in the last couple of years. Even if you just look at it, is that they made such a progress where the designs of the car, the going from internally combustion energy, like the gas engine cars, to electric vehicles, having all this technology where like a telephone integrates, so not necessarily even needing that built-in navigation, all these other options, features that are coming with the cars, having blind spot monitoring, almost driving by itself. Like it's just a lot of technology, a lot of changes, a lot of advancements within, which makes things again, the old ones just seem in most cases, right, seem just not viable or feasible option, or at least it's not as attractive as once we thought it was going to be, and so I get that it's one of those things like mentally you got to have it psychologically, but financial standpoint I just don't know if it makes sense. However, though, I think the goal of this here, and a lot of people actually also brought up the question about the work and employment and things like that. And I think based on what she's trying to achieve, I think that's actually easier or the better route to go to. And I say that because towards the end of the post, she mentioned that she would like to pay off the debt in 5 years, lower the expenses by $100 per month. Of course, I don't know what kind of work he does. I don't know what the incomes are like from the cleaning of the homes and that sort of things. But in any case, like whether it's $100 per month or what have you, as one of the things that was mentioned is that they were fine, but because of the inflation, because of the post-pandemic and stuff like that, the cost of everything has gone up. I think she mentioned a couple of times about the tax going up on her, I'm guessing mortgage, where with the escrow, the payments has gone up so much, the interest rates has gone up so much in the credit cards that they were able to kind of manage it, but now they're struggling. And the sort of things is that obviously that's on a macroeconomic scale, and there's actually nothing that you and I can do to kind of manage that or cut that off, and unfortunately it seems like whether it's a tax rate or the interest rates or cost of living it continues to go up, and it seems like it will always go up. It could go down a little bit, but it is again always tend to go up, even though there's efficiency in the market and the sort of things. There are always other things that come along that we weren't used to and we weren't aware of, and that sort of things. And the thing about that is that it seems like there's so much you can do in cutting back on the expenses, right? And I'm not advocating having all these expenses and increasing debt and none of that stuff, but it's really always a good idea to try to see if there's anything we can do to increase the income, right? Whether you're in debt or not in debt. But I think really we need to try to increase our income in a way so that it would allow you to pay off the debt, but also save a little bit of extra money and that sort of things. And a lot of people brought up Dave Ramsey and stuff like that. I agree. It's just getting rid of the debt is very, very important. But again, also from the readings of it, it looks like they cut out a lot of subscription bases and they try to do what they can to reduce the expenses. Which again, the getting rid of the bike is one of those things. But while that is an option, I still believe there's actually another ways you can actually do things where by maybe picking up another client to help clean, or maybe after the full-time job, maybe you can get extra work done. Since there is a vehicle, again, I'm not sure how old the vehicle is and that sort of things, but maybe he can work temporarily as a Uber driver, DoorDash, all those things, Lyft, and stuff like that. Maybe he can make an extra, $100+ per month after taxes and all, which is what she's ultimately looking for. Is it actually having, it's not that. I mean, yes, lowering the expense by $100 per month is great, but really, doesn't that also mean, having an extra $100 per month in cash, better cash flow, so you have a little bit of breathing room, right? And typically when we're looking for something that small, like $100 per month, I think it comes down to, yes, again, reducing the expenses are good, but within so many months and so many years, that $100 per month will creep back up. Not because you're just outgoing and living a lavish lifestyle, but just because of the natural inflation and all this other stuff. It's so easy to creep up. Just like yesterday, my wife had to go for a dental checkup just because she had a little pain in her mouth and stuff like that, and turned out she had to get a procedure done, which cost us almost $6,000. I think it was over $5,000 and change. and on a drop of a hat, and nobody planned that, and we should have, you know, I don't know, done something some time ago and the sort of things, but things happen, like these accidents happen, these things, and just cost comes up, expense comes up, and if our focus is just solely on saving $100 per month here, $50 per month here, yes, all of that is great, nobody's disputing that, but nevertheless, accidents do happen, like freak accidents happen, and these things also always come up. So I think increasing that income, focusing on that, will help even better that portion of it. And it sounds like they haven't started, like, I mean, they're together, they're married, but it doesn't sound like there's any kids involved at this stage. So as much as I want you guys to kind of build a life and spend some time together and all of that, I think we can kind of delay that for just a while. Not necessarily try to quote unquote sell the bike and in the future try to buy a new one. If he doesn't want to sell it, like if it's just like one of those things like I gotta have it for my sanity, that sort of things. Again, I'm not into bikes, I don't understand. But if that's the case, I wouldn't push so much on selling the bike, but also maybe focus a little bit more on perhaps increasing the income, perhaps working a little bit more towards the expanding the business, the like house cleaning, that sort of things, or maybe just picking up a second job just for temporarily, again just to kind of add a little bit more to the income, so you can kind of supplement it, get rid of the debt, save a little bit more, perhaps even start investing a little bit, to kind of get it compounded, get something going, so eventually when you guys do decide to kind of start the family and all that stuff, that you do have a little bit of nest egg, so you have a little bit of extra net worth and all of that, and have like a little more emergency fund and all of that. I hope that helps. Until next time, thank you.